Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yup, what's good, original crew, man? We're back today. Today, man, we got a body cam for y'all today. His wife discovers her husband's horrifying secret. I wonder what the secret could be, C. I wonder what the secret could be, C. I wonder what the secret could be, C. I wonder what the...
I do wonder.
My bad. I was thinking of a Busta Rhymes.
It sound like
it. Hey, with that being said, before we get into it, always make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go. Hey, we got other channels, man. Y'all go check those out, man. Also, we on other platforms. If y'all want extended extra content that we cannot post on YouTube, hey, we got a couple body cams that we did. Unfortunately, we can't post on YouTube. What you looking like that for? You can't pop yours, can you, like that?
Like what?
I don't do that. I pull it.
Oh, I don't do all that. No, I can't do that.
Want me to pull it for you?
No, I do not. They don't need pop. Thank you.
They always need pop. But it's stiffness, it's tightness. You gotta flex them and let them loose. But we got a couple body cams we can't post on YouTube, so they are going over there on our Patreon. Link in the description. Mm-hmm. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals,
liking it with a thumbs up. A thumbs up.
Hey. Also, if you're new to the channel, haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Join the family, join the fun. Mm-hmm. Always, man. But hey, let's go. Let's check it out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get it.
Do you have any suspicion of who might have taken her?
I have no idea, and I don't think her mom does either.
How would you react if I sat here and directly accused you of doing something like that?
I would go absolutely nuts.
Is that what you did to me?
Okay, stop. This is bullcrap. My husband didn't do this.
He hadn't been arrested or charged.
Still makes me very uncomfortable.
He did not do this.
On November 20th, 2012, in Bentonville, Arkansas, Desiree Bridgman, a mother of two, woke up to every parent's worst nightmare. After putting her two children to sleep as usual, in the morning, Desiree found that only one of her daughters remained in bed. 6-year-old Jersey was missing, and finding her would prove to be a harrowing task. Desiree Bridgman began the call to report Jersey as missing, but was too distraught to give clear information. So she passed the phone to her friend, neighbor, and babysitter, Amanda Hawley.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
It's Street. My 6-year-old niece is missing. Like, gone. She's vanished. We just woke up to get her off to school, and she's gone.
You just woke up that she's 6? And it was at some point overnight, maybe?
I guess her 2-year-old sister is still here, and they sleep in the same room. But she's gone.
We're sending officers over to your location right now. Do you have any suspicion of who might have taken her?
I have no idea, and I don't think her mom does either.
Is there any way she might have snuck out?
No, all of her mom's doors were locked that I know of, and when she got up this morning, her side door to her laundry room was open. It's not like Jersey. She's never done anything like this.
When police arrived on the scene, they likely realized they were dealing with a very unique situation. While the Bridgman and Hawley families were not related, they were incredibly close. In fact, Desiree's little girl spent more time at the Hawley residence than their own, especially when she had to work night shifts. In order to get a better understanding of what happened, police began speaking with witnesses. The first person they spoke with is Desiree's neighbor, friend, and babysitter, Amanda Hawley. The following footage has never been seen before and includes never-before-heard audio from those involved in the case. Amanda Hawley told police about the panicked phone call she received from Desiree once she realized she couldn't find her eldest daughter.
She called me at 6:38 and asked me if Jersey was at my home, and I said no, and she said she was missing.
Y'all looked in that house? Didn't see her?
We looked in, my husband searched my house, and then we searched Desiree's house, and we couldn't find her, and that's when Desiree tried to call you guys, but they couldn't understand her, so I called.
With the events from the morning of the emergency call pieced together, police spoke with Desiree to establish a probable timeline for Jersey's sudden disappearance.
Jersey last night, Zachary literally picked Jersey up. She looked at me, gave me a smile. Zachary carried her over to the house. I followed with.
Which door did you go in?
The front door.
Okay.
Zachary, usually known as Zach, was Amanda's husband. Although they'd only been married for 8 months, they'd been together for over a year and helped in caring for the Bridgman girls. Zach often helped Desiree bring
They've been together how long?
They've been together for a year, for a little bit over a year, but they've been married for 8 months.
her girls home after she returned from a night shift.
We put in Jersey in the same bed, and Jersey was on the side by the dresser, and there's a window right here, and then like Jersey had her head over here by the other bed.
So sometime in the middle of the night, what time do you finally go to sleep? After 1:30?
A little bit after 1.
Then after that,
He crawled into bed with me. I remember looking at the clock. It was like 5:10, and I was like, "Ah, really?" And I said, "Come on, let's go back to sleep." And she laid down and went back to sleep with me.
Apparently, it wasn't unheard of for Desiree's youngest daughter to seek out her mother during the night, so this didn't worry Desiree or give her any idea of the horrors to come.
Riley got out of bed at 6:38.
all right,
I went to go get Jersey.
you went to go get her up. Whenever you come up to her door, what did you see?
Her door was open.
The door was open? Okay.
It was open.
All right.
And I figured that was from but her covers were a little messed up on the bed. It was jumbled up to where it looked like she could have still been there.
But Jersey wasn't there. The only evidence that she ever had been was a unicorn pillow she'd received for her birthday just days before. Chillingly, Desiree recalled Jersey had gone to sleep with the toy, but by morning, it was found discarded on the living room floor.
Did you check the house?
Oh, yeah. After I noticed she wasn't in bed, I went straight to the kitchen because I figured that's where she was. And she wasn't there, so I went to the bathroom because the bathroom door was closed. She wasn't in there, and so I went, checked underneath the bed, and checked in the closet because there's a bunch of covers jumbled up. Thought maybe she was hiding food in there, was eating it. I don't know.
Okay.
Desiree also revealed to the police that she left the front door to the house open the previous night so that her boyfriend Brandon could come in after he finished working an overnight shift. But as it turns out, it wasn't the front door she should have been worried about.
The side door, was it unlocked?
It was unlocked, open, unchained. The whole 9 yards, it was all the way open. Amanda came over to help me look for her, and she goes, "Honey, why did you go out the back door?" And I said, "No."
What's the chances of her walking out?
She never walks out the door.
She would never do that?
She's never tried. She knows better than to walk out the door without me.
Okay. What do you think happened?
I don't know.
What's in your heart right now that's telling you that's something right?
I really feel like somebody came in there.
Where's the boyfriend? Did he not end up coming?
We make it. Yeah, I don't know.
Because you left the doors and everything unlocked for him to come over, but you said at a certain time of the night, your daughter came and got in the bed with you.
So he probably never came.
So he never came. Ain't that? But not necessarily. I'm wondering, did he communicate with you? But you, because that's one thing I was like, who will all have like access? Does anyone else have a key? So obviously it's also somebody know that you normally keep the doors unlocked. That's another thing.
Someone, because well, she said she left the front door unlocked,
and she left the side door, side back door unlocked. It was unlocked as well, because that's how Amanda came over through the back. It was like, honey, your back door is open. But that's something, man. I just like in this generation, this time, leaving those doors and stuff unlocked, man, that's a no-go. You know what I'm saying? Because people, main thing when they first come up to your crib to try to break in, they first test it out to see is it open. If it's open, it's easy.
Yeah.
If it's not, all right, either they're going to go away or they're going to disturb you to break in.
Yeah.
I understand your boyfriend. How long you and your boyfriend been together? If you feel comfortable with him having a key, he should have just had a key to the crib. I'm not leaving my door unlocked for somebody to, you know what I'm saying?
For someone else to just,
Because I understand you don't want to break your sleep for him to wake, allow him to come in or disturb the girls because they hear you up and roaming. So.
Notably, there were no signs of forced entry. The back door, though open, was undamaged, suggesting that whoever opened it had a key. Only 2 people had a key, Desiree and Amanda Hawley. However, any number of people in either household could have gotten a hold of the key. Disturbingly, everyone in the suspect pool was close to Jersey, meaning that she'd likely been taken by someone she trusted. In fact, Jersey might not have even realized she was in danger.
True.
However, according to Jersey's little sister, that didn't seem to have been the case. Amanda Hawley relayed what the little girl had told her, and it was enough to make anyone's blood run cold.
You went over across the street and then you asked her the same thing. What did you see?
I asked her if she seen anything, if she seen Sissy get out of bed, and she said yes. And I asked her if she was with anybody, and she said a girl. And then I asked her what Sissy was doing, and she said Sissy was kicking and screaming. I don't see a 2-year-old making this up.
Unfortunately, Jersey's sister was not able to tell police anything more. Not only that, but her story became inconsistent. Sometimes she said her sister was fighting a girl, but at other times said it was a boy. Sadly, this wasn't the first time police had been called for something involving Jersey Bridgman. Desiree detailed a horrible incident from the previous year involving Jersey's biological father.
Did you live with him at the time?
No, he was supposed to get her in school last year because I didn't have a vehicle. And work was rough on me at the time, and so he'd taken technically custody of her for a little bit, and I was getting her every weekend. I was seeing her twice a week. He had her over Thanksgiving, and she got into the fridge and got some pies out of the fridge and ate them, and so he started chained her to a dresser.
At the time of Jersey's disappearance, David was serving his 18-year prison sentence and Jana a 15-year sentence for what they had done to Jersey, eliminating them as suspects in the new case.
That's crazy,
However, while
though.
David and Jana were ruled out, further conversation with Desiree provided police with other potential suspects. The following statements reflect Desiree's opinions, and the truth of the matter has not been verified.
Out of all these people we just mentioned, if you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one, it would either be Charlie or Kyle.
Desiree identified a man named Charlie as a potential suspect. Police discovered that Desiree and Charlie had dated for a few months until he moved away, only to suspiciously reappear in Bentonville the day before Jersey went missing. Although he had no history of child abduction, police brought him in for questioning to ask about an argument between him and Desiree via text 3 weeks earlier.
No, I will be honest. I will totally be honest. I'm just trying to, remember. I think it was the fact that I was going to fight somebody to take somebody back or something like that.
Something to the fact that, tell me if I'm wrong, she's going to pay, or you're going to make sure she feels pain one way or the other, or something like that.
I don't remember that. Not at all.
So what was the text about in your words?
In my words, that I was going to fight for her. I was going to fight her boyfriend or something and take her back or something like that. I mean, that's what I remember.
Adding to the police's suspicions about Charlie was the fact that he had actually seen Jersey and her sister the day before the kidnapping. But according to Charlie, this was nothing but coincidence. He stated he'd gone to Amanda Hawley's house to pick up his 2 nephews, who she was also babysitting, and claimed to have no idea that the Bridgman girls would be there. Still, police had to ask the obvious question.
So I went and picked up the boys, and when I was leaving in Jersey, they stepped out of the back room, said, hi, Charlie, hi, Charlie. And that was about it, then they went back in the room, and I left.
Did you give him a hug? Did you touch him?
No, not at all, no.
Okay.
No.
Did you hurt Jersey?
No, sir. Never would in a million years.
You know who did?
No, sir. Because if I knew who did, I would be out there hunting for him.
Charlie agreed to let police go through his phone and track the location history. They determined that it had been nowhere near the Bridgman residence on the night in question. He willingly provided a DNA sample and agreed to take a polygraph test if the police desired. As for why he was back in town, Charlie said that he planned to spend Thanksgiving with his family. Since most of the evidence proved his innocence, police decided Charlie was free to go. In addition to thoroughly checking the Hawley and Bridgman residences, police searched an abandoned house positioned next door to the Hawley residence. The police discovered that the back door to the abandoned house was open, much like Desiree's house, but this was apparently normal. According to the Hawleys and Bridgmans, the house had been left open for months. Just 20 minutes after Desiree reported her missing, police made a heartbreaking discovery at the abandoned house. Tragically, Jersey's body was found inside, a mere 200 feet from the safety of her bed. With this horrific and tragic discovery in mind, police spoke with Desiree's current boyfriend, Brandon. Though Brandon had worked an overnight shift on the night of the incident, with security footage to prove it, he had a potentially helpful tidbit of information that, while not incriminating, struck the...
Because he got off at 7.
7 a.m.
Yeah, and that's the time, around the time he was still at work when she woke up to realize Jersey was gone.
Yeah.
Detectives as unusual. Apparently, Amanda's husband Zach had been at Easy Mart at an unusual hour the night Jersey went missing and was killed.
You saw him there at Easy Mart at 2 o'clock?
Yeah, he's getting Pepto-Bismol.
Oh, he wasn't feeling good?
He wasn't, though.
He was sick? Did he tell you why he was sick? Is that unusual?
What?
Him coming up there at 2 o'clock.
Oh, no, that's not unusual, though.
Okay.
Shit, I give him free sodas.
We went to bed probably, I think last time I looked at my clock was 1. And he woke me up at around 3:30, I guess, and said that he was going to the store to get some Pepto because him and I and my son have all been puking.
You said he woke you up around 3:30. The man said he was there at the gas station at 2 o'clock for the Pepto. You talking about 1, then 3:30. No, it was 2 o'clock.
And said that he was going to the store to get some Pepto because him and I and my son have all been puking and we've had diarrhea for 3 days.
Okay.
So I don't remember him waking me up. He says he woke me up when he got home. I don't remember. I had taken Tylenol PM last night. I was so sick.
Police turned to Zach himself to shed further light on what he'd been doing out at such an hour on the night something terrible had happened to little Jersey.
My stomach really started hurting because I guess my wife gave me whatever she had. So I remember looking at the time, it was 3:35 because I have to start keeping track of my times because I just cheated on my wife not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So she wants me to keep track of my times.
Mm-hmm.
So it was about 3:35. I woke her up, told her my stomach was hurting. I was going to Easy Mart to get some Pepto-Bismol. She said that was fine. And Brandon, he was working at the time, so he can vouch and you can even see the camera.
Zach's account from the night of the incident aligned closely with what Brandon had told the police. However, investigators continued to press for more details.
There was no lights on at Desiree's when I left, so they were all still...
Did you buy some Pepto while you were there?
Yes, I did. I even still have some at the house.
Do you know what time you got back home?
Yes, it was 3:38.
So it only took you 3 minutes to walk over there?
I talked to Brandon for a little bit. He asked me what I was still doing up, and I was like, dude, just woke up with stomachache.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just trying to figure out.
What's the story?
So it took you 3 minutes.
It took you 3 minutes to walk there, talk a little bit, get the Pepto, and walk back home.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, no gas station run us that fast unless you literally live
Sonic?
right beside the gas station.
Facts.
Like, and most people don't live right beside. Like, you might be like, I stay by the gas station, but the gas station is not like literally beside the house.
I feel like it'll take a little bit more than 3 minutes, maybe 10 at the most.
Cause it's a gas station literally right there, right?
Yeah.
At the light. Like, you come out, it's at the light. Or I can go that way and go to it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this way, that way.
I'm like, wherever you at. Yeah.
So, how long, if I tell you I'm going to the gas station, you know.
Driving.
Yeah. Now, walking is going to take a minute.
This one right up over here.
Yeah. Even if the Walmart closer than the gas station.
Yeah, the Walmart closer.
So, if I tell you I'm going to Walmart, just get a drink real quick, come back home. How fast you think it's going to take me? And
if you're going to the gas
Walmart
station,
is right there.
Oh, the Walmart.
I'm saying the Walmart.
I say about 10 minutes. About 10 minutes to drive there.
If you tell me, if I'm going to, we go to Sonic, right? Out. The Sonic is even closer, y'all. Like when I say everything is like close for us, the Sonic is closer than the Walmart, and so the Sonic right there.
Still about 10 minutes because you have.
Ain't gonna take me 10 minutes.
You still have to like wait on your food and stuff.
Cause we do the order ahead. So order ahead, and I check in. They come right out with the food.
If they come right out, 8 minutes.
There's no way he walked to a gas station, get something, and come back.
Talk a little bit and walk
and come back in 3 minutes. There's no way.
How you can walk over there in 3 minutes?
Because I just cut through the fence and it's just straight shot there.
You got through there's a cut through right there?
Yeah, there's a cut through right there.
The security footage from Easy Mart backed up Zach's story, but this only showed the time he... The security footage from Easy... Mart
We
backed
don't
up
get the
Zach's
exact footage time he gets there though, but it's 3:36.
story, but this only showed the time he spent in the store. The time before and after when he allegedly walked to and from the store was
The Easy Mart, the resident. So even if you, hold on, no Holly crib, that's still not a 3-minute walk.
Well, the wife did say that she looked at the clock at 3:30, and he said that he was.
But
he said 3:35.
he said it only took him from 3:35 to 3:30.
Between that time, still
She woke him up at 3. He woke her up at 3:30 to go.
Yeah.
So he still got to get up, put on clothes, and get out the house.
But that's besides the point. We know he went to the store.
But also,
what the time in between, like you leaving the market, what did you do in between that time?
But it's gonna take. But also, that doesn't mean that you necessarily woke up at 3:00 to go to the Easy Mart. You could have woke up earlier. She never felt you wake up. You cheating. You probably know. Like I know how to tiptoe around this house. You know what I'm saying? So you could have got up, did what you did, went back to the house. Can't sleep right. So you like, man, I need some Pepto to kind of help me go to sleep, right?
Yeah.
And so you like, all right, let me go to the store.
was unaccounted for. No matter how close he was with the Bridgman family, police had to consider that Zach could have been involved. He wouldn't have had far to go if he was. The house he shared with Amanda and her son was situated directly between the abandoned house and the Bridgman residence.
You know, I don't want you to think or be defensive and think that we automatically assume he did it. Okay?
No.
Because it's just some things we need to account for.
I understand.
Okay. More than anything, it's just the timing, you know, that's a little peculiar, you know.
I understand.
And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out, you know.
Right.
So I mean, you know, that's why I brought you back in here, because I wanted to confirm with you if in fact you remembered him leaving last night and what time he got back.
I don't remember what time he got back. I honestly don't.
Just as police struggled to pin an exact timeline on Zach's activities from the night, Desiree named another one of her ex-boyfriends, Kyle, as a potential suspect, steering the case in another direction.
Tell me about Kyle.
Kyle, whenever I first broke up with him, it was November of last year after all this had happened with my daughter. He snuck her nose to a dumpster and I told him to get out. He wasn't allowed and I ended it there. And he stood there hanging on my door for 20 minutes.
What kind of man
refusing
y'all
to go
did?
anywhere. He's a very strange individual. One night, I was moving all my stuff around in the living room. I just moved in. I hadn't gotten curtains up yet. And he called my phone and says, "You need to get curtains. I can see you right now." I said, "Excuse me?" So I stopped.
Police would follow up with Kyle, but were not able to track him down immediately. As the team tried to find Kyle, police offered the chance for some of those involved in the investigation to take a polygraph test. Amanda Hawley was the first to complete the exam.
Oh, I just want to get my name cleared.
Before the test began, police asked some clarifying questions about the night leading up to Jersey's death, especially about when she was brought home.
So after you guys left, or your husband, did your husband come back?
Yeah,
I guess?
immediately.
Okay. Just like usual.
Yeah.
Okay.
His usual routine is he'll carry Jers home, put her in her bed, give her a kiss on the head, tell her he loves her, and then he'll see her in the morning.
All right. Anything else that I haven't asked you that you think I should know?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, you asked the key question if I had anything to do with it.
Yeah. Do you know for sure who did though? No.
I have no clue, and I wish I could. I wish I could tell him who did it. I don't know.
Sure.
I
All
just
right.
want justice for Jersey and closure for Des and I.
Definitely.
I considered that little girl just as much as mine as she was Des.
I understand.
Amanda's husband, Zach, was also interviewed briefly on the morning Jersey was found missing, then again more extensively in the afternoon. Right away, police probably noticed some odd behavior from Zach, but whether or not this was due to guilt or emotional distress over the murdered little girl remained to be seen.
I asked you about your relationship with everybody, and describe more your relationship with kids.
I love kids. I have 2 nieces. I have a nephew.
Well, I'm talking about specifically Jersey.
Jersey. Jersey's my little... She's a sweetheart.
She's my little. She's a sweetheart.
He had to hesitate. He had to really think of that.
What did you think about? What went through your head when he
Everything.
asked that question?
Who, me? What went through my head?
What went through his head?
Oh.
What went through? When I be speaking to different, persons and stuff. But I wonder what went through his head when he said that. Because you thought about something.
You thought of, ooh.
Jersey's my little. She's a sweetheart. She likes to fight, so I like to wrestle with her. The Jersey, on the other hand, she don't want to wrestle or anything. She just wants to either color or draw or, just be right up your butt at all times,
It's my understanding you guys actually take a pretty big role in their lives.
Yes, we do.
Why are you wrestling with a little girl, a little 6-year-old girl?
Which one he wrestled with? The 2-year-old or 6-year-old?
She likes to fight, so I like to wrestle.
Jersey's sister is the one that likes to wrestle.
Okay.
The Jersey, on the other hand, she don't want to wrestle or anything. She just wants to either
What's even worse?
color or draw or, just be right up your butt at all times,
It's my understanding you guys actually take a pretty big role in their lives.
Yes, we do. We have them 7 days a week.
Most of the day too, right? Okay, so you're almost like a parent figure.
Yes.
In a sense. There's several questions, but one question I'm asking you, have you ever been accused of any type of child or anything like that in the past?
No.
No.
And we can be honest here. I mean, if somebody's ever
And I'm not talking, did you? I'm
their
not.
name out.
Yeah, I'm not saying did you anybody in the past. I'm asking, have you ever been accused, or somebody else has accused you?
No.
Nobody.
No.
Okay.
A deep dive into the records from Siloam Springs, Arkansas, revealed that in 1998, Zach was charged with residential burglary and criminal mischief after destroying a neighbor's living room with paint twice. Over the course of his teenage years, he was also charged with harassment on multiple occasions. Just a year later, he and another boy were accused of having inappropriate and undesired contact with a girl several years younger than him.
Woo!
After his teen years, though, it didn't appear that Zach was part of any criminal investigation until Jersey's death.
How were your emotions at that point?
Dude, I was freaking out, but I didn't want to look like it in front of Danny.
Zach is referring to Amanda Hawley's son, who is not his biological child.
Because we didn't know what was going on. So we just wanted to get him off to school. That way he had nothing to worry about, just a normal day,
Okay. So you were freaking out, but you weren't showing that emotion?
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, I started crying.
Yeah.
I've been crying over it all day. I told her I would see her in the morning. And I didn't got to see her.
As Zach wrestled with his emotions, he remained unaware that the police had finally contacted Kyle. Kyle, who wasn't only Desiree's ex-boyfriend and a suspect in the case, but also Zach's friend, alleged that Zach had made some deeply concerning comments in the past. The nature of the police's subsequent questions hints at the content of those remarks.
I mean, obviously you find women attractive, right? I mean, you like women. You like younger women?
No.
You don't like younger women. The woman that you had the affair with was how old? 20?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Okay. You're 28. So is she a younger woman?
Yeah, but at the time, I thought she was around my age. So
You thought she was 28-ish?
around my age, yeah.
Okay.
I don't like them young. I mean,
20? 18?
I ain't gonna lie, cause you do gotta clarify that shit. Typically every man do date women see younger than me. Do that mean I like younger women? I like a woman technically a couple, maybe two years younger than me.
At the end, you like grown women.
But I'm saying the way he put it.
Yeah, because he's
At the
he's
end
trying to get somewhere.
Yeah, but it's the way he put it will make like then you said saying when you like a 20. Oh yeah, she's younger than me, but she legal, bro. But he like so yeah, you like younger women. That I ain't gonna lie. In the interrogation, that don't mess anybody up, right?
I'm like,
But
I'll just be like,
but
I like legal women. I mean, like,
But it's the way he's insinuating it though, as an officer. I'm not trying to, but it's like
let him cook.
Let him cook.
Yeah.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. You can't be putting that younger shit on everybody, bro. Cause that's a little violation.
Okay.
I don't like them young. I mean,
20? 18? 19?
that's young.
You don't find women that age attractive?
No.
there's certain things that a person might say that I'm gonna believe. There's certain things a person's gonna say that I'm not gonna believe. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you know, and I'm not trying to go anywhere with this, but you saying that you wouldn't be attracted to a 20-year-old woman?
Oh, well, see, you're misunderstanding.
Okay.
Yeah, they might look good, but I won't try nothing with them because I like them to be around my age or older.
Okay.
Because it seems like it's just wrong. Because
They're adults.
I'm almost 30 years old.
I'm well over 30 years old, and I'd find a 20-year-old woman attractive. That's why I'm kind of calling bluff on that, man. I'm sorry.
The guys are guys, that's for sure.
Yeah, I just want you to be honest with us here, and I don't want to. I
They
want to be
finna
able to
milk
look
your
at you and say, listen, Dax, he's being straight with me. You know, I don't want to think you're trying to curve this at all. You know,
Holly told him they are old enough to. Whoa. So when does a young lady starts to bleed? See, from my understanding, it's around the age of 12, right?
Some people younger.
Some people younger, but on average, right, 11, 12.
I've had aunts that told me they started theirs at 9 years old. So I don't necessarily believe in this statement. I mean, even though
what statement?
No. The statement is true.
No,
I'm saying
on average.
I don't know the reason why he was told that. As far as like
no, Holly told the other one, Kyle.
Oh,
so
Holly.
Zachary.
You know the Holly and how it's spelled. It's like throwing me, and I keep thinking that it's like
that's Zach.
But Zach Holly, Zachary Holly told Cal.
He told Cal
if they old enough to bleed.
Then they're old enough to breed.
Oh.
And I'm saying, so that's how old it's around.
So, and then
8,
it says
9,
girls
10,
that
11
to be 14 to 16 years old when told him that was gross. They were too young. Holly told him if they old enough to bleed, they old enough to breed. Okay, yeah. I thought the wife told him that, and I was like, "Whoa!" When he had cheated on her with the younger girl.
Oh no!
I needed to read
He
the
told
whole
Kyle
statement.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
or did be a little deceitful on certain things like that. And that's why I asked a legit question that I can answer and say I'd be attracted to a 20-year-old woman.
Yeah, we just want to know.
Okay, and I'm quite a bit older than you, so I can say that.
But I do prefer them about my age or older.
Okay.
I will look.
Okay. Sure. So you would be attracted to a 20-year-old woman. Okay. Fair enough.
But I wouldn't try anything with that age.
Right.
After deliberating,
You 28, she 20. If y'all both find each other attractive, it's legal. It's legal. He trying to, bro, like trust and believe.
I want to try nothing.
There's 20-year-olds with 28-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They've people. It is what it is. That's what how they deem. There's plenty of people that are 8 years, 10 years older than, you know what I'm saying. As long as everybody is legal, you know what I'm saying.
over the subject, investigators finally confront Zach head-on with evidence that completely catches him off guard.
The reason I asked that question is some people that we interviewed had made the comment that you are attracted to younger women. Okay. Mm-hmm. In referencing an incident actually just 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, where you had made a comment. I guess you made other comments about attractive women, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Okay. This specific incident that I'm referring to, though, was related to a girl that was maybe in her early to mid-teens. You remember that? You were at a residence over on D Street. And it was your brother and your sister and Kyle were there, and you, and a girl walked by the residence, and you made a comment about
13-year-old
thinking she was attractive. You don't remember that?
Don't lie.
It could have been that night I was drunk. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm talking about like preteen, early teen, high school age, because a lot of high school girls are may look like they're 24.
Yeah, let's be honest.
Seriously.
Even in junior high, they look like they're 30-year-old women.
It's kind of hard to tell. That's why you just.
Bruh, this shit weird, bro. even the detectives are weird. They give me a little weird energy. I know what y'all trying to do.
I've seen a couple girls and I thought they were,
I know what y'all trying to do.
I know what they're trying to do too.
But that shit weird though.
Most definitely.
Y'all still giving weird vibes.
Look, but you don't do nothing. You just look.
By minimizing the implications of such behavior, the police are likely hoping to make Zach more comfortable acknowledging it and possibly even confessing.
Have you ever had any attractions to younger girls than that? Like prepubescent girls or, early or preteen girls?
No.
Never.
No.
Not that you know.
I might look, a guy's gonna, well, look at that.
Yeah, do you understand what I mean by preteen or prepubescent?
No.
Okay, I'm talking about girls that are probably around the age of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
That's like talking about my knees.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that age.
No.
Girls that haven't, gone through puberty yet or are just starting puberty.
No, that's wrong. No.
According to Kyle, however, this wasn't Zach's usual opinion. Some of the comments Kyle alleged Zach made included extremely vulgar details about his sick desires, even if Jersey had...
Now, Zach, I would like to what? The what out of that? A 13-year-old? Boy, you sick.
They would be driving down the street and see a 13-year-old girl walking, and Zach would say, I would like to...
L?
The L.
S? No.
Oh, the S.
The
I would
S.
like to, yeah, I don't know why I said
That's God's
L.
talk. That's God's talk.
Out of that.
That's crazy. A 13-year-old, bro? Bro, you no. Now, I'll say this. This generation, we have seen... No, chill. Just
Go
listen.
ahead. I ain't even said nothing.
13, like, not 13. I'm saying like 17-year-olds or 18-year-olds, you might see something you like, but you look at them and be like, that joint look young though. Because they might dress and try to appear older than what they are, but you be like, still young though, And you don't even look that way. Be like, I can't even tell the age, so I don't even want to, Like, no, bro. No, a 13-year-old?
And honestly, y'all don't really even know their age. They could be younger than 13. That's just the age that y'all giving them.
True.
They could be younger than 13.
True.
You know that they are not 18 or older.
True.
They could be 10, 11, 12, 13.
Because these kids nowadays, they get makeup, hair extensions, they're dolled up and stuff.
And 9 times out of 10, when y'all see
But you can
girls,
still see a baby face, bro.
When they seeing these girls are not dolled up. They just walking down the street.
No, I'm saying reference for what
yeah.
I'm trying to chime in and just use what I'm. But yeah, these like you said, a preteen, like a little child. You getting turned on by a little child. And you know how sick in the head you gotta be to even get turned on by a little child and then verbally say it to somebody else? Yeah, you messed up for real. You bold and messed up. And I ain't gonna lie, Kyle Wolf get him the indication.
Make him so comfortable even talking like that.
Fast.
Around you.
But
yeah.
And then the mom, she having too many men in and out her kids' lives, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Even then on that end, stop doing that. Especially your little girls, man. One, they got the father abusive to them with little Jersey. Then you done had 3 different boyfriends around them, including Zach, that like look girls. So what's that? That's 4 different men that's really been in and out their lives. And she's just 6 years old, It was too many men. You don't know what kind of...
Hadn't been killed, these comments would still be massively concerning, as Zach had regular contact with children, including Jersey and her sister, sometimes caring for them on his own.
There are the evil people with no remorse. Then there's the people that aren't evil people, but that have a sickness. It's a mental thing. It's not an evil thing. It's a mental thing, or it's an experimental thing. We also deal with that too, where it's that's a mistake more than anything. Early on in investigations like this is when we want to find out whether or not a crime was committed. Not only is the crime committed, but how that crime was committed. What the person's state was when that crime was committed. Whether that person is a person that's evil, that needs to go to prison for the rest of their lives, or it's a person that's sick and needs help, from a doctor, or it's a person that was, experimenting.
In their pursuit to uncover any clue of Zach's involvement, investigators probed his thoughts about the incident. What they didn't know yet was that someone else was about to coax the truth out of one of the suspects.
Why do you think that the person that took her did not take to? In your opinion?
I don't know. Hard to grab two girls at once, I guess. I don't know.
This might be one of the rare, honest answers Zach has provided so far, and it's entirely possible that Jersey's sister was left at home because it was simply too difficult to kidnap two children at once.
What do you think their motivation or intent was? Or why do you think somebody would do that?
I don't know. I'm not sick and twisted in the head like that. I can't even imagine doing something like that.
The police aren't getting anything more from Zach, so either he's innocent, despite his sick comments, or he's very stubborn. Fortunately, they already have a protocol for handling this, and give Zach the same opportunity as his wife.
I gotta ask a tough question.
Did it say he only got a 10th grade education?
That's the only thing you say there.
The following is a confidential report of the polygraph examination of the below-named individual, Zachary Dwayne Holly. Yeah, you said is that the only thing I seen? Mm-hmm. No, I saw all this. I didn't read this, but I seen all that down. Went down. I said, "Boy, you ain't got nothing but a 10th grade education."
Dang, this polygraph. That's a long polygraph.
This and give Zach the same opportunity as his wife.
I gotta ask a tough question, man. Is there any possibility that you did this?
No. If you just take a lie detector with an actual lie detector,
I pass it.
you pass it.
It's my little girl, man.
All right. I think we can get one arranged for you, okay?
Would you be willing to do that?
I'll be willing to do that.
Despite the nature of Zach's comments, the fact that he agreed to the polygraph would usually be taken as a good sign, but things wouldn't remain that simple.
So you're most likely looking at me then, huh?
No, I didn't say that. I said I'm talking to you and I want to do one of two things today. I want to clear you. I don't know you. Okay? I wasn't at your house last night. So any people that are connected closely with this child and this family, we have to look at. It's our jobs. That's my job as a detective. Okay? So no, I haven't accused you of anything. I haven't said you've done it. None of the sorts. I mean, you're here voluntarily, and we appreciate that.
I'm trying to go home and see my kid. I haven't seen him all day since this morning.
It ain't your kid.
You're here voluntarily. You're here you're free to leave at any time. I told you that when we started.
I didn't do this.
Well, this is where we got this thing set up. And just like Chris said, you're here voluntarily. But if you were doing everything you can to clear your name, we would like to get you over there to do that task.
Or give you the opportunity to talk to us about it.
Either one. I really don't think we need to do that.
I want to go home and see my kid. Wrap my head around things.
Okay.
I need to finish this tomorrow, please.
Ending the interview early doesn't necessarily indicate guilt, but it likely makes police more curious about Zach. If he was feeling pressured or stressed enough to leave, they're going to want to know why. For now, they decide to wait to see how he does on the polygraph. Before they even get Zach scheduled, however, they receive the results of Amanda's exam.
Okay, here's the deal. He just reviewed the results, and you passed test. Okay?
This only brought investigators slightly closer to understanding what happened to Jersey. However, ruling out one person meant they were able to look more intensely at the remaining suspects. And at least partially due to his early departure from the interview, their attention was still locked on Zach.
Hey, we've been talking to Zach. He's no longer here voluntarily. He decided to leave. He went to his brother's house.
What are you guys done with him?
He chose to leave on his own accord, which he had the right to do. He was not being detained. He was not under arrest, okay?
Okay, but were you done with him?
No. Here's the situation, and I understand this is going to be hard, okay? We are certain that he is involved. We are certain that he's the one that...
There's no way in hell.
Okay. I understand that.
I don't even like them saying that, though. Informing her.
Because when she leaves, she can just confront him about it, and then he can either...
But it depends on how their relationship is. She can confront him about it to kind of hide it, try to have them come up with something to, or she can confront him to like overpower him to fold.
Yeah.
So that might be the reason.
Does she have suspicion? Does she know a little bit? I know she passed her polygraph, but do she know a little bit more than... I would hate to like be involved in something or be close to a situation and know that I'm innocent and get polygraphs and I freaking fail.
Oh, people do have none of that though.
Like I'm like,
but the thing with the polygraph test is it's admissible in court.
Yeah, I know that much, but so I'm just saying for my conscience, like I failed. What, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I mean, she passed hers or whatever the case may be. So, but I do wonder if she just like know more or just suspicious, because your gut kind of tell you some, you know, sometimes.
She might not think he is though. She probably hasn't seen.
She may not.
She probably hasn't. What's up? I'm trying to get that. She probably haven't seen that side of him though.
Yeah.
I understand your denial. I understand this is your husband. Obviously, this all happened today, so we haven't gotten any forensic evidence back yet. We're basing this on some of the information that we learned during our interview while speaking with him.
Like what?
I can't get into the particulars on that. Okay?
Due to the fact that her child is at my home with all of my children and my husband, can I call them and tell them to go somewhere else since he's not in custody at this point?
Okay, stop.
He's over at his brother's right now.
That's where you think he's at right now.
First of all, he has no clue where you are. Second of all, this is bullcrap. My husband didn't do this.
He hasn't been arrested or charged yet with anything.
It still makes me very uncomfortable.
He did not do this.
As Amanda is showing great faith.
Honey, still, I'd rather be on the safe side than to be like, my bad, go ahead.
No. You go. You said
especially
be on the
my
safe
kids,
side.
my kid, like he at pool house. My kids were I am about to call, get my kids up at the house. So
he's not at that house. The kids are with her husband. Amanda's.
Go ahead.
The kids are with Amanda's sister's husband. He went to his brother's house. They're not at the same. Yeah, I'm trying to help you out. Chill.
Yeah, well, you calm down.
But that's the reason why I was like, I didn't feel like they should. I don't think they handled any of this shit the right way. Because Amanda's, I don't know if she ever had a hard time having men involved in her life that's committed. Because some women, as soon as they find a man that's willing to marry them and do things that they always wished men would have done, they become overprotective of certain men. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like out of desperation type shit, you know? So I wonder, is she willing to, like, because right now she sounds way more overprotective to make sure he doesn't go down for something than wanting to hear that's a possibility that it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? She's denying it though. Your husband he is a cheater. He's known to step out on you. You know that. How many times have he cheated on you? And what is the typical age range of the women he's cheating on you with? Or girls he's cheating on you with? And you kind of see how she has this controlling of, he was like, I have to keep a time stamp of everything and let her know every move I make. That in itself is not even a healthy relationship, you know?
Faith and her husband, investigators decide to use this in order to get her to help them persuade Zach to speak with them further. This effort will eventually reveal a shocking truth.
Let me just ask, how would you react if I sat here and directly accused you of doing something like that to a person?
I would go absolutely nuts.
Is that what you do to me? You go absolutely nuts, right?
I would.
And you know what? That's an innocent response. That's not the response we got. And that's why we strongly tried to contact him today to get him up here. All right, because we need to do something there. We need to eliminate him. And I understand he doesn't want to at this point, and that's his decision.
That he doesn't want to. He's scared because everybody's emotions are so high. He's afraid to take it because, as you guys have got to know, when you walk in a police station, your heart starts going like this.
Oh, yeah.
I will not let this little girl go without closure. That's my baby. I have raised her. I cook dinner for her every night. I bathe her. I put her to bed. We say prayers. That's my baby. I want to do whatever it takes. So if that means I have to drag my husband in here by his hair, I will.
With the understanding that her husband is going to be a prime suspect until he takes the polygraph, Amanda called Zach from the station to see what the holdup was. Though Zach doesn't know it, she puts the call on speaker, and it was recorded. Having been proven innocent herself, she likely expected the same result from her husband and was looking forward to resolving the issue so that police could focus on finding the real culprit behind Jersey's death.
What's going on?
They're trying to blame me, baby.
That's why they said that they suspect you, so why would they suspect you?
I don't know. I was in bed with you all night, except for when I went to go get Pepto.
I know, and I understand that, but why'd you leave? That makes you look guilty.
My stomach was hurting, baby. I mean, it's Pepto.
No, why did you leave the police station?
Because they were trying to get me to say something that I didn't do. I was sick of them being all up in my face telling me, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this. It's good if you do this. Come on, just say it. So I was like, no. I want to go home and talk to my wife and my son. And I'm going to get a hold of a lawyer tomorrow. So I'm not going down for something I didn't do.
I know you didn't do it, honey. I know you would never hurt her.
I need you to come over.
As soon as I leave, I will.
I don't know what to do, baby.
Despite his reluctance, Amanda convinces Zach to schedule a polygraph. When he arrived, the test administrator went over the information about the exam.
You ever just sit there and thought about hurting someone? Good. That's good. Another thing the book says, this person might have lost their temper. You know, because what happens when people, when they lose their temper, they don't realize what they'll act out and just do about anything. Have you ever been so mad that you lost your temper on something? That's cool.
The test also included some more specific questions about Jersey and her disappearance. Throughout the test, Zach denied any involvement in her disappearance and subsequent brutal death. Unlike with Amanda, it took a few days for the results of Zach's test to be finalized. However, the polygraph examiner would have likely understood the results of Zach's exam in just a few minutes, so perhaps the delay in revealing the results was intended to make Zach sweat.
I know this has been tough on you, this whole thing. I mean, this has been obviously huge, your loss and all the issues you've probably endured with, people talking and not knowing what's going on and the media and that's a big pressure right in itself. Not being able to go home, be able to walk outside your door and not being able to get a camera stuck in your face and
watching every car drive by.
People's probably, I'm sure they've been stopping in front of your house, haven't they?
Oh yeah.
You feel like an elephant sitting on your chest right now?
Sometimes. Yeah.
I can't imagine it.
It's not pressure.
Are you doing all right with it?
I'm working on it. I have good moments and then I have my bad moments. But sorry to change the subject.
Yeah.
You said you want to talk to me about stuff.
Okay. Yeah. I did. In fact, there's a couple things we wanted to go over. I'll let JC cover part of it, and I'll cover the other part. Two things. We got your results from your polygraph here. Okay. We also did get results from the crime lab. Okay. The polygraph results indicated deception, meaning that you failed the test. Okay. On the deceptive response questions. Okay. Do you remember what those questions were?
Not all of them.
Okay. You did fail that. That basically speaks for itself.
Confronted with his failure of the polygraph, police likely hoped that Zach would confess and finally provide some answers about Jersey. But this polygraph failure wasn't the only incriminating evidence Zach would have to face, as the investigation had also turned up DNA evidence.
So this is from her, right? Right palm swabs, back neck swabs. Front neck swabs. Oh shit.
Details of where it was found were beyond heinous.
That's what I'm talking about. Where the DNA was.
Yeah, I read everything.
Right palm, back neck, front neck. Damn. What you was either sweat or saliva? That's what I'm thinking. Blank smear slide from where's this? Right swabs. Neck swabs. No. Blank swabs from Jersey. Blank area. Blanks.
The details of where it was found were beyond heinous.
Amen. It's all right. Come on, man.
Boy, you done had your time to spend your final days with. She ain't had it. She didn't know it was the last day she was gonna see her mom.
She didn't deserve.
She didn't know that was the last day she was gonna spend time.
A 6-year-old child.
But you've been able to spend time with your family. Been able to spend time with your wife. You knew it was a matter of time for you to get caught. You knew that.
Zach, the results are what they are. Okay.
We don't think you're a bad guy, man. We just, everybody, there's a reason for this that you got to tell us about, and that's why we're here, want to talk to you.
Faced with undeniable evidence of his crimes, Zach eventually started crumbling under the weight of the pressure.
I don't think this was a planned event. Okay, I don't think that you planned this. I think this was something that just came about.
Zach, listen. Hey, let's get past that, okay? We know what happened, okay? We're past that now, brother. It's clear as day.
Zach, we know that you're sorry. We know that this was not, something that was planned out. This just happened, okay? And man, I know that you want what was best for that child, for Jersey.
Remember last time we were talking about there's different kinds of people in this world. An unremorseful person would not have his head down right now crying. You feel bad in your heart, and you know that elephant that was sitting on your chest is wanting to get off. Okay? And we got to talk about that stuff.
Is he really remorseful, or he just said he got caught? Because a lot of times people who break down crime like this, they're not sad about the actions of the crime. They said that now they feel like their life is over. Now they got to go to jail. They thinking of all the bad things, you know what I'm saying, that's going to happen to them. They ain't thinking about the person that they harmed,
And I know it's hard. This is going to be the hardest thing you ever got to talk about in your life. I promise you. But once it's out in the blue and it's over, it's over.
We got to talk about it for the sake of Jersey.
Look at her, bro. Look at her, okay?
We need to do this for her. We need to put her to rest peacefully, okay? We know that she's forgiven you. Look at all the things you've done for her.
Zach, like I said, we're past that.
Why the fuck you keep telling yourself you can do this?
Zach,
we're past that, okay?
Shut the fuck up.
I mean that.
Do we need to be looking for other victims, or is this just one time?
It is still, Zach.
Zach, we know you did. We've got the salt. There's no other information out there, leading up to this. That's why I think that this was the first time this just happened. Something came over you, something you couldn't control. It was, I'm not blaming you, Zach. I'm not blaming you.
And this just might be something that you need some help with in your mind. There's something in your mind you need help with. Maybe it's just something as simple as that. Can't survive. My whole life is
You
gone.
should have thought about that, buddy.
Again, what I just said.
You should have thought about that.
He thinking about everything that's on his end. He ain't remorseful for hurting the little girl. He afraid that he ain't gonna be able to survive in prison.
Well, you should have thought about that.
Nah, I ain't got my wife no more. I never. That's what he thinking about. Yeah, you gonna be somebody little. Better get in there, start pumping some weight. You little, you little. Better join some brotherhood in there. They might make you one of their little things, but you gonna be somebody's girlfriend in there.
Oh, excuse me.
You ain't got no face to her either. Oh, you so smooth. Oh, you so smooth.
Zach, that's not true. Your whole life isn't gone.
Yes, it is. With this, you're going to get my wife to divorce me.
No.
You're going to take my kid.
No.
It's not true.
I mean, here's the thing. Amanda's been there for you. Amanda's been there with you for, and she's not gonna back away.
End up throwing me in prison for this.
Zach,
I can't survive.
Zach, that's not what we're trying to do here. Didn't you love Jersey? Okay. I know you did. Look at you wearing her shirt.
I know you did.
That boy, because he.
I know you did.
And then y'all keep bringing her name up. He didn't love.
Why'd you deliberately put on a shirt?
He's
with
obsessed
her face?
He's obsessed with the little girl. He's obsessed with her. Ain't no. And also, y'all ain't no spur of the moment. He probably been fondling the little girl, because you remember he said the other girl, she likes to wrestle. Jersey doesn't. She probably don't try to. She likes to sit by herself. Because you probably do inappropriate things when, you know what I'm saying? When you having to watch them alone.
There's no telling. That's sad.
Jersey went through a lot.
It's heartbreaking to even think about.
Not only by the hands of an individual like this, but her own father was abusive to her. She saw 6 years of her life and dealt with more abuse than most people did within a lifetime.
Sure. Zach, the first step to this is you've got to let it go. You've got to let it go, man.
I know
The information police have gathered, the failed polygraph, the vulgar comments Zach made, and the recently revealed presence of his DNA leave little room for speculation as to the nature of his crime. But police still don't know what exactly happened to little Jersey, and they're about to be confronted with a horrifying truth.
What do you guys want to know?
Tell us what happened.
No, really remember.
I mean, you probably blacked in and out, but what parts do you remember?
Standing over her.
Okay, where was she at?
On the floor.
Okay, where at on the floor?
Far right bedroom.
Though Zach didn't state where he took Jersey that night, given the initial evidence police found, it likely wasn't hard for them to guess that he was talking about the abandoned house right next door. Still, the details kept coming, each more depraved than the last.
Okay. Where at in the bedroom?
In the closet.
Okay. And what was she doing on the floor?
I don't know how we got there.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Just tell us the parts you remember, man.
Okay.
Black it out.
Everything.
Woke up, man. He told her, well, lay down first. And then Danny came in there. I moved it back to his bed. Then I woke Mandy up saying I had a bellyache.
For now, the police played along.
So it happened before he went to the gas station. You see?
Then I woke Mandy up saying I had a bellyache.
Between 1 and 3:30, it happened. Because she said last time she was seeing him, she had laid down about 1, went to sleep.
Yeah.
She said he woke her back up at 3:30. So, like I said, he snuck out the house, did what he had to do, came back in the house, laid down. Oh, my stomach hurt. I need an alibi. The reason why I'm up this late, because I got a stomach pain. But you had just did that to that little girl. You can't go back home and go straight to sleep after doing that. So, yeah.
For now, the police played along, likely hoping this would get them the information they were looking for.
Okay, so it was before you went to Easy Mart? Okay.
Do you remember
what happened next?
I went and got my Pepto and came home. So I went back to bed.
Well, you said something about a closet. You remember her being facing up or facing down?
What was she doing in the closet?
She had her pants wrapped around her neck.
After you took Jersey home,
He said pants up around the neck.
Wrapped around her neck.
So you
laid her down in bed, and then you went home, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened after that?
The hard part's over, Zach. Just try to remember.
Would you call my mom and have her come up, please?
We boom on us all over. You're doing a good thing.
You are. You're doing the right thing.
I don't know why I didn't.
Okay.
I miss her so much.
I know you do, Zach. What happened after you went outside?
I went to Desiree's back door and opened it.
So you walked in and
I looked around.
what'd you see?
Desiree had her door open. She was sleeping. The kids' door was cracked. And I pushed open the kids' door. And they were sleeping in bed. And I just walked up and I woke Jersey up. She looked at me and I just picked her up and I was like, come on.
Did you just say it's Uncle Zach, or
I didn't say that to her.
she looked at you and acknowledged it was you? Yeah. Okay, so did
she yell or make any noise or anything? Was she kicking or anything?
Because she trusted
Okay.
him.
Was she awake?
About halfway.
Halfway? Was she crying?
No.
Did she cry ever at any time? Did she ever yell anything or?
Zach's chilling admission of Jersey's cold-blooded murder leaves everyone stunned into silence. But investigators still had more grisly details to uncover.
I'm losing my whole life right here. All because of what I did, and I didn't even mean to do it.
I know you didn't.
I don't know why I did it. I should just bring home. I had a beautiful wife right next to me.
Zach, we know. But Zach, it's important that we find out what happened, okay?
It's really important. The hard part's over, man.
Was Jersey walking or were you carrying
I
Jersey?
was carrying her.
Okay.
But I remember her asking me for something to drink, and I told her to hold on.
Okay.
I don't remember doing anything. I just remember closing this closet door and leaving.
You a lie. You trying to block it out from memory, from your subconscious.
But you remember, bro.
But you remember everything. Because earlier he said, I don't remember. I just remember her. And now
you
all
adding
of a
these
sudden you remember all
details.
this.
You remember everything.
You
Stop.
remember every detail. It's been replaying in your mind ever since even the day it happened. Because right after you did it, even going back home, laying down next to your wife, you couldn't even fathom to go back to sleep. You had to let her. Or would you need an alibi for you being up just in case somebody saw you up that night? Somebody would be like, yeah, I saw him. Oh, yeah, he had a stomach ache that night.
Okay.
Do you remember if her clothes were on? Well, you remember her pants were off earlier, right? And you remember those going around her neck?
I took her into the back room. I remember laying her down on the floor.
Okay.
What happened after you laid her down on the floor?
Zach admits that he assaulted Jersey.
She already has, man.
Put the things around her neck and I tied it. And I.
Do you remember why you did that?
And then after I did it, I put her in the closet. I shut the door and I left.
Did Jersey say anything to you?
Not the whole time.
When Zach didn't budge on that part of his story, police returned to a different line of questioning, something that directly led them to Jersey's brutal fate.
How many times did you put it around her neck, approximately?
How did you do it?
Under her head.
Okay.
I remember tying it in a knot.
Do you remember if you put it around one time or more than one time?
I don't know.
So you said you put it around your head, you tied it in a knot. Then what'd you do the rest of them? The legs.
Just tightened it. That's all I did.
Do you remember how many knots you put in it?
No.
Okay. What was she doing after you put that around her neck and tied a knot?
She started kicking.
Were you still sitting on top of her when she was kicking? Or
How long did it take?
A couple minutes.
did you wait until she stopped kicking before you got off of her?
And then what'd you do after that?
I put her in the closet.
Was she moving at all when you put her in the closet? Was she alive at all when you put her in the closet? Or do you know?
I know she wasn't moving.
She was passed. Did you put her in there head first, or did you drag her in there, or did you carry her in there?
Dragged her in.
By her arms, feet, hair? What did you drag her by? Okay.
Her pant legs. And her head.
Okay, by the...
No. And her pant legs.
Okay.
So the pant legs that were around her neck,
That was around her head.
she dragged her.
Okay. And her head.
Do you have your hand on her head too? Like holding onto her hair or her head?
Her hair.
Sound like he wants to make sure she was dead.
This is so devastating. Like, what is wrong with people?
You can carry her all the way to this abandoned house, but you can't even carry her to lay her
After you do something so heinous like that, like
and
be for
killed
real.
her. So you just had to drag her by the... And you set your grown ass on this little child.
Her hair?
What position did you place her in the closet?
And the closet was right here.
Mm-hmm.
Draw a picture.
Yeah. Here. I got a piece of paper right here.
Jersey's cause of death was determined to be strangulation, caused by the pants Zach wrapped around her neck. There was also scratch marks along Jersey's throat, suggesting she'd fought to loosen the garment during her last moments. After killing and assaulting Jersey, Zach continued to Easy Mart for his Pepto-Bismol and went back to bed beside his wife Amanda like nothing had ever happened. In what can only be called a cold-blooded confession, Zach had finally revealed the sickening details of his crime, and yet one question lingered on.
There's no other children that you've had that experience with? Okay. I have to ask.
He gonna tell you if it was.
Have you ever touched Danny?
No.
Okay.
That's my boy.
Okay.
You said that
You
same
said-
shit
you said
about
the
Jersey.
Same thing about Jersey. And look what you did to her. I do not trust people, bro.
Yes, you're going to be under arrest.
I'm going to go to prison. Look at me.
Zach, I'm going to tell you again that you're doing the right thing here.
Honestly, I hope they tell
One
you
thing
to look.
you haven't, you said you don't know why you did this. You don't have any idea why. Do you remember thinking about it beforehand? So that was the first time that you ever thought about doing that? Why do you think that is?
No, it ain't, because we have you even telling Kyle that you could have, if you had had an opportunity, you would have effed out of the little child.
And my thing
you
is,
didn't know her age, y'all assumed she was 13.
And my thing is, even with, I don't know if he meant like thinking about it like whatever, or with like Jersey, but my thing is, you're at home in the bed thinking, because that didn't just come. You've been thinking of a way. You like, I need to act on whatever urges you've been having, whatever it is.
You saw the opportunity.
And you saw this opportunity.
She was sound asleep. She been sick. She finally able to go to sleep. You probably assumed that she was gonna be asleep.
And you was like, let me go. Like, really?
And you just don't hop right into that. There's elements that leads you up to that. You know what I'm saying? So 9 times out of 10, you have done other things to Jersey. You just didn't choose that as an opportunity.
His interrogation ended soon after this, and shortly after Zach's confession, Amanda announced that she planned to file for divorce and filed for a no-contact order. However, while Amanda chose to distance herself from Zach, not everyone took such action. In a recorded jail call with his mother, Zach revealed some of his thoughts after his arrest.
I can't blame Jersey because I knew her. I can't blame Desiree because, Mandy introduced us to Desiree and we started watching the kids. I can't blame all that.
Huh?
Blame?
So,
how are you saying you can't blame something else?
I can't blame. Like what?
I always tell you, it's not. It's the wording is everything, ain't it?
The only thing I can do is blame myself for getting out of bed and going over there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's starting to really, really hit me hard.
In addition to Zach's mother, his older brother Kenny and sister-in-law Erin remained close to him and allowed both of their teenage children to visit with Zach, even bringing along their new baby on occasion.
Say hi, Zach. Because Zach said he loves you. Say hi, Zach. Say I love you.
In 2015, Zach pled not guilty to charges of residential burglary, kidnapping, capital murder, and an additional...
How the fuck you gonna plead not guilty when you sit up here and confess?
A lot of people do that. Getting there, confessing, and still, I guess, hoping something change. I don't know.
Charge for violating Jersey. He received 2 life sentences plus 20 years and was given the death penalty. Zach sought a new trial, claiming that his attorneys were ineffective and didn't adequately address how his actions were influenced by mental illness.
Oh, Lord. Not the... See. I'm dead.
Like...
See, he about to be...
I'm not... It's like, bro...
Well, he got the death penalty.
Bro, influenced by mental illness.
I told you what he was going to do in there.
Yeah, you sick, all right. You sick. You a sick individual.
But not
you
mental.
Ain't got no you sick. You just a sick.
The problem is the detectives brought up the mental shit.
Did they?
Yeah.
I think my mom was just so like on how
they interrogation. They brought it up. Then I said he gonna have to go in there and put on some weight. I said he gonna have to put on some weight, or he gonna be somebody love, and he gonna just have to join a brotherhood. But he on death row, so he ain't really got to deal with too much. You know, being on death row, you ain't got to deal with as much as Gen Pop like with everybody else.
However, the judge upheld the death sentence in April 2024.
Oh, wow.
Currently, Zach is at the Varner unit of the Arkansas Department of Corrections and has been reprimanded for several disciplinary violations, ranging from...
Let's look at under the influence. You in jail under the
influence
2024. Currently,
under the influence, failure to obey order, unnecessary noise or play.
Threats.
Threats.
Zach is at the Varner unit of the Arkansas Department of Corrections and has been reprimanded for several disciplinary violations.
Unauthorized use of state property supplies. What you doing? All shanks.
Ranging from failure to obey orders, threats, destruction of property, trafficking and trading. To name a few.
Name a few.
And talk about I don't know how I'm gonna survive prison, and you in there, honey, acting a fool.
He gained that weight. I told y'all he was too little.
Rest in peace to Jersey, because that baby did not deserve that at all. Like, what makes you? I still can't get over the fact that this man wore a shirt. What you thought that was gonna do?
No, he was obsessed with Lil Jersey. I didn't mean to say the name. He was obsessed with her. That's all. That's what it was.
That is so heartbreaking, bro.
Very. Very, very much so, man.
My condolences to her mom and her family.
Ooh, I know she's going through it. I know Desiree going through it. I know Amanda going through it. I wonder how did their relationship
Yeah.
after the fact, you know what I'm saying? Because on Desiree end, your husband did this.
Yeah.
On Amanda end, somebody I trusted, you know what I'm saying? Can you even build that trust and that connection back with, Desiree?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Hey, man, y'all spam us up in the comments. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts about it for us in the comment section down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is we are. We are.
No time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar, 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 dollar. Let me watch out for my partner.